What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Guys, if you want to rock with me, do me a big favor. Get yourself down in the description box. There are 3 links. That first one is that Moo link, where the good folks at Moo, if you open up a new brokerage account, they're willing to give you a nice offer for opening up your new brokerage account, but you got to go check it out. First link down in the description box. If you want to join the fastest growing financial community on Patreon, we'll call it the Wealth Builders. That's going to be your second link down in the description box. Click on it. It'll take you over to Patreon. Come join our financial family. We'd love to have you. And then lastly, you got the website where I have some financial digital products that could potentially help increase your financial literacy. So check them out as well. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about a subject that I'm very familiar with, which is consumer debt. Because when I was 26 years old, I had a bunch of consumer debt with no job, with no net worth, right? And I had to figure out a way to get out of all that consumer debt. But today, the Federal Reserve is doing one of their latest consumer debt surveys for 2025, and they'll push into 2026. And man, the debt numbers, guys, they're staggering. Let's dive into it. The Federal Reserve conducts a tennial survey of consumer finance to study household finances in the United States, including assets, debts, and banking habits. The latest survey is for 2025. Here's what we know about the Federal Reserve's consumer debt information for 2025. Drawing from the New York Fed's quarterly household debt and credit report, which utilizes the consumer credit panel data and other sources. Here's the overall debt levels in America right now, guys. Total household debt reached a record high of 18.39 trillion in Q2 2025. The average household debt at the end of Q2 2025, adjusted for inflation, is $152,653. Note that while the absolute debt is at a record high, inflation-adjusted debt remains below the record high set in 2008. So you mean to tell me record high when not adjusted for inflation, but when we adjust it for inflation, it only comes in second to 2008. That just tells me, guys, we're at a critical point right now in America with this debt thing. See, here's what happens. When things get tough for us, where do we turn? We turn to consumer debt, whether it be our credit cards, whether it be, tote the note loans, where we take a title to our car and we leverage that to get cash, whether we go to payday cash, check cash, and whatever it is, we tend to go to debt in order to be our safety net, because most of us, a lot of us in America, don't have $1,000 in savings for an emergency. We just don't. So a lot of folks may say, well, golly, man, they're saying our economy is amazing. The stock market is amazing. I'll do a video on that tomorrow. Yeah, it's amazing, but who is it amazing for? That's what you got to ask yourself. When you look at a 6,500 point S&P 500 index, who's really participating in that? We'll talk about that tomorrow. But let's get back to this consumer debt thing. Now let's break this down by category. Let's start with mortgage debt. So mortgage debt makes up the largest portion of household debt, reaching $12.94 trillion. You're talking about almost $19 trillion in total debt, and 12.94 trillion of it is mortgage debt. And in most cases, I'm okay with mortgage debt as long as it's, my mortgage is for a house that I'm living in or a rental property that I'm deriving rental income for to pay that mortgage. I'm okay with that. A lot of folks who took out their mortgages right after the pandemic, 21, 22, probably got pretty doggone good rates. But if you missed that 2-year window, and let's say you got your mortgage in 23 or 24 or 25, you already know you're on the high side of mortgage interest rates right now. And for a lot of people, that means a bigger payment. So if you get a bump in the road, you lose your job or something like that happens, that mortgage payment, especially if you got it out in 23, 24, 25, big payment, a lot more stress. Let's move on to credit card debt. Credit card debt increased by 27 billion to reach 1.21 trillion. This is close to the all-time high set in Q4 2024. The average credit card balance is $6,371 as of Q1 2025, according to TransUnion. Credit card debt typically is the number one go-to for people that hit financial bumps in the road and they don't have any money in their savings in order to cover whatever financial catastrophe they find themselves in. They tend to go to their credit cards. Even people who are working a normal job or in their own business and they find themselves at the end of every month, they got more bills than they have cash, paycheck, they tend to go ahead and use the credit cards in order to supplement their income. The problem is you get deeper and deeper and deeper into that hole. Remember, we got the highest level from a credit card interest rate standpoint than we've had in a long time. Your average credit card rate, guys, is around 22.5%. And if you got $6,300 worth of balances at a 22.5% interest rate, you do the math. It's pretty devastating. It's pretty devastating, especially if some of us lost our jobs. Let's move on. Automobile loan debt increased by 13 billion to reach 1.66 trillion. That's automobile loan debt. Also, you got different classes of borrowers when it comes to automobile loan debt. If you're a prime or super prime, you get the best interest rates. And right now in today's environment, if it's a new car, if you're super prime, you're probably in the 5% range, right? If you fall below to say prime, you're probably in that 6 to 7% range. If you fall down to that subprime, which is the bottom where the lowest credit scores, you can be anywhere from 14 to 25% interest rates, man, on newer used cars. So you got to be careful with those as well. And when I go look at the research on, delinquencies, now your prime and your super prime are still good. Very low delinquencies for that group of borrower. But really those subprime borrowers are where you're starting to see delinquencies starting to pile up, where people are starting to default. Why? Because they got the highest interest rate on their car loans. Those are the loans that go bad first. Those ones with those really high interest rates. So be careful with that auto loan debt, guys. And then you got student loan debt increased by 7 billion to reach 1.64 trillion. Delinquency rates have surged due to the resumption of reporting on missed payments from the pandemic pause, with 10.2% of student loan debt at 90 days delinquent in Q2. President Trump and his administration went ahead and turned back on the interest. Remember, for a long time, that interest was turned off due to the pandemic. And then, of course, other efforts to try to get all that student loan debt forgiven. President Trump wasn't having it. He done went ahead and turned back on that interest. So now you're seeing the delinquencies go up because people have enjoyed 3, 4, 5 years without having to worry about interest. Now all of a sudden that interest is turned back on and people are struggling. Let's move on to home equity line of credit, AKA HELOC debt. increased for the 12th consecutive quarter, right? Rising 9 billion to 411 billion. So what's happening is with the HELOCs is as times continue to get tight and tough, what do people start doing? Tapping into the equity. Tapping into the equity of the house. Oh, we need a new car, but we don't really have any money in savings for down payment. Tap into the equity. Oh, shoot, that's right. We need to get this done to repair the car. Tap into the equity. Oh, yeah, we really can't afford it, but we worked hard. We really want to go on this vacation. No money in savings. Well, golly, hon, we got plenty of equity. Tap into the equity. We're starting to see that increase over the last 12 or so consecutive quarters. So what does that tell you about delinquencies in 2025? In Q2 2025, the aggregate delinquency rate for outstanding debt remained elevated at 4.4%, while transactions into early delinquency were stable for most debt types. Student loans saw a significant rise. Serious delinquencies, 90 days or more past due. Transitions varied by debt type, with student loans increasing sharply, mortgages and HELOCs slightly rising, and auto loans and credit cards remaining stable. So what are some other notable findings? Individuals aged 40 to 49 continue to hold the highest amount of total debt. Between 40 and 49 years old, guys, approximately 131,000 consumers had a bankruptcy notation added to their credit reports in Q2 2025, an increase from the previous quarter. The percentage of consumers with a third-party collection account on their credit report remains steady at 4.7%. It's important to note that the complete results of the Federal Reserve's Board's 2025 survey of consumer finances will be released in late 2024 after data assessment and analysis. The information presented is primarily based on the New York Fed's quarterly household debt and credit reports, which use a different database, right? But provide valuable insights into recent consumer debt trends. So 40 to 49-year-olds are in the worst shape when it comes to the highest amounts of debt, guys. That's not good, right? That's not good because 40 to 49, man, you're starting to get to retirement age and you still got all this debt and you're almost 50 years old. Again, guys, I'm just giving you the information. And the reason I give you the information is because you better get your financial house in order, man. We don't know what's going to happen with this economy. We've already seen a labor market that's starting to soften. We looked at our July 2025 jobs report, where all of the experts thought that the economy would add 110,000 jobs to the economy. It added 73,000. That's before revisions. A lot of people believe with revisions, it'll be negative in July of 2025. So negative jobs added. Guys, get yourself in position. Please put yourself in position to get yourself in this debt under control, right? We've already looked at inflation. Although inflation is still pretty steady based on the July CPI inflation report, when you look at core inflation, it did tick up. Experts thought it would come in at about 3%. It came in at 3.1%. So that did tick up. So anything can happen with inflation going forward. What we have to do, in my opinion, is make sure we got our financial house in order. And it starts with making sure we get ourselves out of this consumer debt. And drop me some comments down in the comment box. And what do you think about this almost $19 trillion in consumer debt? What do you think about the credit card debt, though? Almost 1.3 trillion. Almost the highest it's ever been, second highest. Q4 2024 was the highest. This is the second highest on record. I just think that's staggering. So drop me some comments down in the comment box and let me know what you think about this consumer debt. And what are you doing to make sure you get out of consumer debt so you can give yourself a fair chance to get to financial freedom? Like I said, guys, if you want to rock with me, get down that description box. Consider clicking on those 3 links. First one is that Moo link. Like I said, the good folks at Moo Brokerage are willing to give you a nice bonus if you decide to open up a new brokerage account with them. All the details are in that first link, so go check it out. Also, consider the Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon. That's my community where we talk about these types of things and how to get out of this consumer debt thing. So if you want to be a part of our team, our community, so we can just talk about some of these issues, and hopefully as a community, we can help each other solve them, right? If you want to be a part of that, click on that second link, come on over to Patreon and join us. We'd love to have you. And then of course, my website, which has some digital products on there. One of those digital products talks about credit. So if that's something that you want to check out, certainly click on that third link, which is my website link, and go check out the digital products. Thank you guys for stopping into the channel. And if you're stopping in for the first time, please consider subscribing, share the video, smash the like button. Thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.